I just realized that it's not that I can't learn from other people because I'm hungry to. So that is not present at all. It's just that no matter where you are in your life, just making sure that there is a moral congruence, that there is a spiritual congruence with who you are keeping around you, who you are allowing to speak over you, that even the work that you're doing, is it congruent to your values and what you believe in? Because those are the
Mm.
things that give us prana. Those are the things that give us life. Those are the things that give us happiness and joy. And if they're incongruent and misaligned, you're going to be happy. You're going to have headaches and backaches. You're going to be crying every day. You're going to be depressed. I've been there. This is not shame or judgment. I'm just saying, I'm speaking from experience of being misaligned versus having strict non negotiables.
Welcome to Reward, the podcast of The Trust. We are the show specifically for women entrepreneurs who want to build businesses into the multi-million-dollar revenues and beyond, but especially because we know the reward is much greater than that. I'm Allie Brown, and I'm excited to introduce you to these diverse female leaders from a variety of industries, women making huge impact and who are unwilling to settle for the status quo. On the web, visit jointhetrust.org to learn more about our modern community for forward-thinking 7- and 8-figure women entrepreneurs. That's jointhetrust.org. See you there. Now, get ready to enjoy this episode's powerful conversation. Charis, hello.
Hi.
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 If you're not watching the video, if you're just listening to this, you have to go look at the video because she has this epic chair. It's just such a queen setting, you know? And I remember the first time I talked to you, I'm like, oh, we have to up our background game here. And I need like a power chair. And I think that'd be cool. I like it.
Thank you so much. Had this chair for, I want to say at least 6 years now. And I took it from my old house into this home. I'd love to collect things. And in the moment that I'm buying them, I have no idea what I'm going to do with them.
So you didn't have a vision where it would go. You didn't know where it would go. Okay.
No, I truly, in my creative process, and this is also how I design, I just let myself just be attracted to whatever it is that I'm attracted to.
Mm-hmm.
And this chair came up on Perigold. It's like upscale Wayfair. You know Wayfair.com.
I've heard of that. Yeah, I've heard of Perigold.
Yeah. So I found it and it's been mine forever and I'm never letting go of it. I love it. And you would think it gets dirty because it's white. It's just as clean as a whistle. I got a little blanket here. It's all cozy. I love this chair.
I just had a vision of your kids one day having it, and that's the chair that your great grandma used to build the company. Like, you know,
yes,
like future generations
manifest it. It's going to be in a museum one day.
Yes, day. I love that. So I'm going to jump in because I just saw, and I don't know if you told us or told me, and I forgot, but that you were just suddenly you're in Egypt. Yes, suddenly you are like cruising down the Nile and doing all this cool stuff with all these women you brought with you. I want to jump in. What was that? What was that trip? What was the purpose? Was it a business oriented trip or was this with your group that you mentor? Tell me about Egypt.
Yes. Okay. So the brand that I founded 12 years ago, Sassy Jones, we have a really cool component, which is our rewards program. So when you shop at anywhere, you can shop at Sephora, you can shop wherever you shop, right? There is a rewards tier, but with ours, when you earn or get to 1,000 points or $1,000 spent, you're welcomed into this private, exclusive VIP experience. There is where you begin to get exclusive invites to brand only events. You get 2 points per dollar. That's where all the sample sales happen. So the things that I design that never make the light of day, they get the opportunity to buy those kind of one exclusive pieces. And one of the bigger things are our trips. So we have done, we have shut down Carnival Cruise Lines before, like two-stepping in our all pink bathing suits to like cha-cha slide and all of that. And this year we did a humongous trip to Egypt. We launched it last year and I said that we were going to cap at about 40 people because traveling with a lot of people, especially to that degree, you know, it can be, there's a lot of logistics involved with that, getting from place to place and all of the activities. So I wanted to cap it at 40, which is still a big group. We ended up taking 43. But the purpose of it is to foster offline activity from our online community. So anywhere you shop at, you're just used to like shopping, getting your tracking number and wearing your stuff and letting that be that. But one of
Yeah.
our competitive advantages is the community component to our brand. And it's just so sparkly and shiny, like from the outside. But from the inside, these women do not know each other. They are just all connected because they love Sassy Jones, but they brought their mom, their 86-year-old mothers, their husbands, their best friends since kindergarten, and they have all trusted the brand enough to take them around the Nile River and Cairo and Aswan and help them check off things from their bucket lists. And that is the impact that we want to make with the brand. So when we say we're selling confidence, that is what we mean by helping them sort of level up their decision audacity in life. But it all starts with the purchase of a necklace.
When you first considered launching a jewelry brand, did you already have in mind the vision of this community, or did it start with your design sense?
It didn't start with either, Allie. When I had the idea from back in what year was that? I was still working at my corporate job in GEICO. I had no idea that it was going to turn into this. This has all just been obedience, following my intuition, and following the right next step. I did not have a long term plan at all. In fact, when I began, I was not designing. I was buying wholesale from China off of AliExpress and selling, marking it up, and then selling it, right? And then even what
Mm-hmm.
got me into design is there was this woman, a VIP, by the way. She found my wholesaler on AliExpress, and she threatened to tell all of my other VIP women that they could go to this place and get the jewelry cheaper, right? And I was like, well, you should do that. And she did. And she like took me on like a slaughterhouse spree for about 45 days. So that angered me into like, oh, I don't want to be found out so easy, even though I'm doing nothing wrong, right? Can we just talk about like that shame plug, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is regular business, the way business is done. You buy wholesale and then you mark it up. You've done nothing wrong. But I'm grateful for that experience because it did frustrate me into really giving birth and energy into the ideas that I had in my head.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm feeling that.
Oh,
Like that nudged you. You're like into because you probably had ideas already, right? You probably had ideas for designs, didn't you?
sure. I was trying to talk the wholesalers into doing it this way and putting the bead there and did it. I was already designing before I knew I was. So you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
So that happened. And so that's how I got into design. You asked about the community component of it. That didn't happen until I really started to learn who my customer was. So, how I started the brand was by doing these trade shows before I became pregnant with twins, my twin boys, who are now 10. And so I had a minivan and I would drive to
No,
Orlando
you
if I saw
didn't.
a show. Yes, I
No, you
did.
didn't. No. Oh.
I did. A Honda Odyssey. We
Do you
called
have
her
that?
Audi.
Do you have one today?
No, but we still have it in the family.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And
Sorry.
I
Okay,
fought
I'm
tooth
sorry
and I
that
did
nothing
not
can
want
shock me except like that. That shocked me. I cannot see you driving that around. You're just so stylish. But okay, so anyway, sorry. Go on. You're driving around your Honda Odyssey.
Yes, Allie, and I know it's so hard. It's hard to envision, but it was hard to envision for me. That Honda was like a gateway to my future. And I fought the Honda tooth and nail. I did not want it. My husband found it on the side of a road where someone in a neighborhood was selling it. And he was like, because I had sold my car, my actual car. I had a Mercedes C320, a C class that was paid off, and I was so proud of it. It was like cinnamon gold.
That was like your
And
corporate, right?
yeah, it was like the jam. And so that was the car that I sold to have seed money to start my business. So I didn't have anything. And my husband was like, listen, I know you want to start this business. I seen this minivan. I know you want to drive a pickup truck, but I think the minivan, you can lay the seats down and it would be amazing. That minivan ended up driving me across country. I did over 72 trade shows in a span of 2.5
Huh.
years, midway being pregnant with twins. And
What kind of
so,
trade shows? Do you go set up a table and shit and sell the jewelry?
yeah, so
And
like
what kind of events?
Southern Women's Expo,
Okay.
Circle of Sisters, even small ones, not even like big 10,000 attendee events, but like little small ones that small brands would have. I've set up tables inside of restaurants before, like ladies' night or like wine nights out.
So
Loud and
smart.
funny. So like anywhere that I could just pop a tent, I would show up. And when they asked me where I was from, and I would say Virginia, and they were just having like a Thursday night random wine ladies' night at some country club, and they're like, "But we're in Jersey. You drove all the way up here for this on a Thursday night?" I did. I did.
Wow.
And what
Wow.
that helped me to find was who my people were. I believe if I would have started out digitally, just running ads, like just aimlessly shooting at whoever picked it up, I would not have the rich intel that I have right now, which is knowing exactly who my girl is. When she came into my booth, I watched where she went in my 10 by 10 space, what necklace style she lingered around the most, what she smelt like, whether she had her children with her or not. I studied everything about her. And that is what helped me build community. And I love
Hmm.
the trade show experience. So I'm like, if we're going to do this thing digitally, we just need to have a offline component to it. So
Yeah. I want to
offline.
pause there because I want to emphasize to everyone that we all get excited about the online stuff, and I've just seen so many people like put stuff up and just wait for customers and clients to come in. And there is no better foundation than getting out and meeting people and talking to people. And like early in my career, I'm glad that I couldn't rely much online. Like I had to knock on doors and ask for the business. And, when I was marketing my freelance services in New York, and just, I still think that's going to become even more and more important in this age of AI and digital, like getting to know the humans, getting to know humans. So I just want to call that out to everyone listening. There's a big, big lesson in that, and I understand why you did that for sure. For sure. So that started to grow. And so you saw that you got to know these women. What made you think then to add like the gatherings and that, like really take this up a level with that community?
It's just something that I had always wanted for myself, Allie, honestly. It's like, where is there like a group of women who love to have fun, who are drawn toward this like aesthetic that is bold, bright, and bubbly? That's a certain personality type. And chances are, if you are that personality type, you're looking for other what I call unicorns, right? You're looking for other people that are like you. And so that's really speaking to their kind of pain point, because we go out into the world and we don't necessarily see a lot of what looks like us. So you can either be suppressed by that, you could be discouraged by that, you could think you're weird. Who's celebrating you, who's serving you, and so if we like dig down deep into that niche where ain't nobody else serving, there's such white space there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, let
Yeah.
everybody else do everything else. I got this over here, this little small subset. So that was the mindset behind it. It's like, we need us, more of us, but we're at all different corners of the world. So our
Yeah.
first event was at my home. It was, I forget the year, but I took the same shelves that I had at the trade shows and I put them in my living room. I had one of my old clients from my old job. I used to sell food to restaurants through Cisco. And I had met a bartender there, and I had left Cisco by then, but I remembered him. I was like, "Hey, I started my own brand. Would you mind coming to bartend at my house for like a small event for like 12 women?" He was like, "Oh, sure." He had the time of his life, and my
Oh, I
boys were,
bet.
yeah.
He's like, your ladies are hot. These are
Yeah,
hot women. I will come to your house and
yeah,
bartend for them. Of
sure.
course,
Come to
he's
my
not
house. We
dumb.
got the drinks flowing. My one of the reasons I wanted to sort of pivot toward events like close, because I had had my boys by then, my twin boys, and I was just sick of being on the road and like being a new mom and all of that. It was exhausting. And so I was so proud of that, because I was like, okay, I found a model that seems a little bit more sustainable than being on the road. So they were upstairs asleep, and that was the first one. We had so much fun. I had cupcakes with my logo on it, even back then. And I was like, this feels good and this is fun. And for me, two things in business has to be true. You've got to feel good in what you're doing, and it has to be fun. And the second both of those are out the window, I'm done. And I'm so okay with it.
Mm. Mm. So you're already very clear on your values and how you would, what was really important to you in building this business. A lot of women are not in the beginning. That's interesting. Or they get to a place with their business that they realize, oh, this isn't, wait, I'm following everything I should be doing, but this isn't matching who I am. And there's something that I've seen you write about. It's called, you wrote down spiritually congruent, like having a
Yes.
business that's spiritually congruent with who you are. Tell everyone more about that.
I just wanted to take a deep breath there because it is so true. I too, in my career, especially starting out, I did everything that all of the other brands do. I sent product to makeup bloggers back then. I tried to get on with influencers. I tried to follow the brand book of rules. This is what you do. You spend ad spend. You did none of those things worked for me. And I was looking around like, what
Hmm.
in the world is happening? Right. And so I decided to step from behind the camera and get in front of it and really let people know who I am and who they're doing business with. And it turns out that ended up being a competitive advantage. But that little that mindset of like doing what everyone is doing is still stuck with me. Up until a few years ago, I had joined sort of like a cohort that is when you hit a certain level in business, you better be in this cohort. Like you better be in this thing, right? And so I joined it. And I was like, well, this is like, if people ask you how you know you made it. That's like one of the things, right? And so it felt like it should have been like, oh, like I made it. And then so even being a part of that, I felt so incongruent, like such an outsider. And I just realized that it's not that I can't learn from other people because I'm hungry to. So that is not present at all. It's just that no matter where you are in your life, just making sure that there is a moral congruence, that there is a spiritual congruence with who you are keeping around you, who you are allowing to speak over you, that even the work that you're doing, is it congruent to your values and what you believe in? Because those are the
Mm.
things that give us prana. Those are the things that give us life. Those are the things that give us happiness and joy. And if they're incongruent and misaligned, you're going to be happy. You're going to have headaches and backaches. You're going to be crying every day. You're going to be depressed. I've been there. This is not shame or judgment. I'm just saying, I'm speaking from experience of being misaligned versus having strict non negotiables about what I allow for myself. So that is what I mean by the congruence.
Yeah, I love that so much. And it's something that, we talk about a lot in the trust. And even years ago, the biggest message I had when I was running my events that were called iconic, and it was about like, that disruptor phase that we're all going into. As women, we are the first generation, first of all, to have these choices, right? And have these models and like have these decisions to make. And we start off following, the model we see, and oh, success leaves clues. I'm going to follow this. This is what you do when you get to this level. This is what you do in this industry. Follow, this. And we get to a point, and this is the most beautiful point, and I love witnessing this, like, either women who are working with me or they've been through it, and that's when they come to me because they know, oh, this is Allie's jam, is where you're like, no, this is not what I want. I know exactly what I want, and or help me find what I want because it needs to align with who I am and why I'm here. And it could be anything from the point that maybe they went into a different model that maybe that didn't suit them, or they realize that their purpose is here to be that brand, right? Like it or not, sometimes I know there's days sometimes that like I don't love being a personal brand, honestly. There's
Yeah,
many days I do. There's some days I'm like, I just want to disappear off the internet and quietly make
yeah,
money.
I
Like,
understand. Or go work at a
yeah,
gas station. Like I
right.
will say, it's like good.
Can I tell you something? So I keynoted this conference a few weeks ago. It was for a group of women's physicians, and part of my talk, it was all on burnout. And I was saying, who has an escapist fantasy career? They're all like, and I mean, so many hands went up. I'm like, call them out, and it was hysterical. My favorite one, she's like, barista. She's like, I
And
just
she
want to
would make
chat
the
with
best
people.
drink. She would. Overachiever. They would have all the frost. She would have the happy faces, the heart.
Totally. Like everyone had something like that grass is greener kind of fantasy to go. Like mine's making jewelry in Mexico, something like that, like in a hut,
Little
I
hut.
could work. Yeah, something like that. So And my big message to the women listening is this is the fun part because you decide what you want this to look like. And when you decide, you may be surprised that that is the point where it actually takes off. Are you willing to talk about your team growth?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Because I know you've mentioned when you've gone through different variations of your model too, and like finding what works and what's aligned with you, and also honestly, just what works. Right. So, do you want to share a bit about that journey?
Happy to. And still very like figuring it out as we go. I think that's one of the biggest things in entrepreneurship is just to accept. Like knowing and accepting are two different things, right? Just
Hmm.
accepting that I am always going to be figuring it out with
Yeah.
team, with the process, with all of it. So I started out just me. Then I hired two or three, and then it grew to 50 at one point. And that was my cap. What I learned about myself is that I don't like a big team. I learned that I like process much more than managing people, right? And that was a hard truth for me to even accept because I'm like, ooh, CEO, you should, that's all about people and numbers. And especially like talking to other business owners, like one of the first questions is, how big is your team? How big is your team? And that's like the bigger the number, the better. And now where I am proud to say, I think now it's a strong 14. We have so much AI injected in there, so much process that we are way more efficient than we ever have been in life. So, for example, we used to have all these people working in a warehouse, right? You would push a cart down an aisle, 12-aisle warehouse or so, and they would pick things to pull orders. And we were stepping all over each other, right? That looked one way. Today, now we pick in bulk, right? And there are finger scanners, and one person can pick a whole day of orders, and one person can ship a whole day of orders just
Wow.
from software. Ship Hero, by the way, if any of you are interested. Just little fine tunes like that. Instead of a whole bunch of communication, I lead all of my directives from a playbook. And this is my strategizing that I spend only 15 to 30 minutes a day doing. And I time myself because if I let myself plan future, I could do it all day and then I wouldn't have time to be creative. So one of my ways of getting myself out of overthinking and knowing that it's just enough is I will put a timer on my phone. When that 30 minutes is up, I have to be done no matter where I am. It's good enough. And then I get to move on. And then I get to experience joy from getting more things done. Right.
Hmm.
So, though that's how we move with just 14 people at this level of revenue. So, I'm so proud of it. But on the caveat, I also am a person who is incredibly independent. And as entrepreneurs, we know how to do everything in the brand. And I don't want to do everything. So I'm literally just now getting an assistant, if you can believe that. All right. She
That
just
is
started.
shocking
Yeah,
because
it's
I would
very.
think you'd have someone following you around going like, yes, Miss Jones. Just
Oh,
pictured you having someone like helping you with everything because you, I don't know, you just seem to have this, um, you obviously get a lot done and you seem to have an energy that you are supported, which is a good thing. I mean, it comes across. You don't never look stressed to me in the limited amount of time I've gotten to know you. You don't seem stressed. You don't seem really, like overloaded. So tell me about that. Tell me about your assistant.
well, I'm supported well and have been supported well. I have tons of family that work in the brand. That's a superpower. And my husband and I work together. That's a superpower. If you can do that, you can do anything in the world. But they all do other things. I need someone to do me, if that makes
Mm.
any sense, right? So it had been some time since my last assistant. And I'm like, with all the things that I have coming up, especially in 2026, I'm like, I can't imagine like going this alone. Like this has been good, but so we searched for about 6 months. I had interviews where, Allie, if you can believe this, I had an interview where a girl came up out in my office and started crying. I was like, should we start this over? It's like, what in
What
the
was
world?
she crying at? Like her own stuff or like being in front of you? Was she like, oh my gosh? Or what was it?
I let me try to put language to it. We were talking just fine, and then she just breaks down like, "Oh my God, I'm just so." She was nervous, and I was like, "Let's start over, and let's walk back out, walk back in, and then what's your name? Tell me about your dog." You know, and so she just couldn't get it together. So there has to be an emotional, like a mental strength, a fortitude there, to be able to keep up with a leader.
Yeah.
So anywho,
Pull yourself together.
pull yourself together,
God,
mama.
God bless you, sweetie. And no, I'm sorry. This is, oh
Like
gosh.
you cannot live above
Yeah. Oh, these poor girls today. I don't know if it's that, and this is where we sound older. Is it a generational thing? Like they're just they're ready to crack. I don't know. Maybe we're more formidable,
yeah.
in our experience. That's a whole other show, but we wish her well.
And we have this BS radar too that is like a non-negotiable, and you know that once you cross that invisible radar, that sphere, is there's nothing you can do. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
yay for innocence and yay for building team.
Did you
I've also
find somebody?
Yes, I did. She started
Okay, good.
yesterday, and she's absolutely amazing already.
Yay. All right. And
Yay.
you haven't made her cry yet.
No, she won't.
No.
No.
It is a game changer to have someone dedicated to you and supporting you in your role, because also you're doing a ton of speaking, right? Like you're doing like awards and things like that. And you're just, it'll power you up to do even more, just as Charis. I need to ask about the Sassy, because I was wondering at first if I'm like, is that her alter ego, like Sasha Fierce kind of thing? Is that her Sassy is Charis? Like, tell me about the Sassy.
Yeah. So it's the name of the brand, but people started to call me Sassy in the street. I respond to it because I'm the face of the brand. But I am not Sassy Jones all day. I am Charis Jones, who owns Sassy Jones. It's one of the things that I am responsible for. Um, but Sassy Jones is a very bold, bright, colorful, audacious brand. And we create and design very intricate jewelry, a lot of beadwork, a lot of natural beads. We work with leathers, and it's all statement jewelry. And so I love to talk about my why behind the design. I love to showcase anything new. That's something that I will probably never let go. You can let the model shoot it and do all that kind of stuff. But in terms of the excitement about the product, I really find joy from that. And that's one of the way that I connect to my consumers. Charis Jones is very calm and very level headed. And you'll see sparks of like, you'll see sparks of it throughout the day. But I am more Charis than I am what people would perceive as Sassy Jones. So even on the trip, there were some women who had never been around me before. And I had one of the women ask me if I was enjoying myself, if I was okay. And I knew in the back of my head where it was coming from, because there was an expectation that I would be what I am on live stream. And that is me. That is a part of me, but that is not my default factory setting 100% of.
Mm,
And
yeah.
for followers or community, that can be because they have you as one way in their head. And so when they really get around you, there's a learning that has to occur. And I'm okay with that. But yeah, that's the difference. Like she's a part of me, and I am also a mother and a nurturer, and I'm also very much a housewife. Okay? Like I love to cook, and I love to be snuggled up on the couch, and I don't want to be strong all day either. That all of that is me. So, yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And I think it's important we talk about that. We have those different parts to ourselves. And I think we are the wave of women who are finally, I think the one, like finally admitting all that, right? The ones before were proving it and couldn't kind of show that
Mhm.
softness. And now we have this opportunity to be those whole women and mothers. And I know part of me just wants to be a trad wife, if anyone's interested, I'll bake for you all day. Like, I'll, I have those moments. I'm like, would I be happier doing that sometimes? Like maybe at some point I will, I just
Yeah.
want to bake and take care of the kid. And then I get back into this and I'm like, oh, it's a whole different frequency. It's like a frequency shift. And when I'm in each I like to be really in each, you know, when I'm like baking with the kids and in mom mode. I'm not one out. And some women I've noticed can switch really easily, like the ones with the laptop at the playground. I was never able to do that. I really have to have specific, distinct time windows where I know that I am Allie Brown
Yeah.
and then I'm mom. And then, you know, like to have a date once in a while too. Then I'm just like girlfriend, like he, you know, which I just kind of, it's just nice, you know, just to not have to be that person all the time for me. And
Yes.
and have those parts of yourselves and allow those parts to really enjoy. I want to
Absolutely.
talk about style and trends. And it's jewelry is interesting because you will see, and I remember being when I first of all I posted a Throwback Thursday today. I don't know if you saw it. It's awful. Like I had zero style. It was 1999. There's a photo of me. I had an awful haircut. I had like boxed deep red hair color, and I'm wearing a shirt from like Banana Republic. I thought I was smoking, and this was my business photo. And I remember just being really frustrated because I didn't know what I wanted to wear, how I wanted to look. As I've gotten older now, I'm having actually so much more fun with style. I think part of it's confidence and part of it is just not caring, right? What people would think. And yeah, I'm the only mom in drop off rocking a leopard head wrap and a jumpsuit and my kids just know that's me.
Yep.
Jewelry is interesting because you will see trends. Okay, you'll see the bold statement jewelry. Oh, this is hot right now. And then they'll say, oh, now all delicates in. Oh, now it's all gold. Tell me what your philosophy is on jewelry, because obviously, you know, you're like trends, whatever. This is for this type of woman and who she is. Like, I'm guessing, but tell me more about that.
Yeah. So I have a very distinct philosophy on that, and we don't follow trends at all. There is some intel. There's a lot of data in the market about what is working well, and we do take that into account. But one thing that I pride myself in is to not chase what everyone else is doing. So, for example, gold is super hot right now, right? So, you're going to have traffic or customers that are coming to your store looking for gold. So, you better have it. But that doesn't mean that it looks like everyone else's pendant necklace of gold, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
gonna look like Sassy Jones's gold, um, you know, or a chunky necklace or whatever it is, right? Or gold hoops, right? It's gonna look like our gold hoop. But please go to Dillard's or Macy's or wherever and buy wherever there, right? Um, and that is part of our superpower. And I only know this because I have tried it. I only know this because I have created the delicate gold necklaces and the smaller hoops and the things that all of the other the Kendra Scott kind of beautiful
Mm-hmm.
um, that doesn't work for my girl. And there's enough of it out there. There's no need for me to try to fill that void or that gap, you know. It's much smarter for me to focus on how I can do that here. And
Yeah.
so that's what we've done. So I definitely don't believe in chasing the trends. My inspiration and my design philosophy comes from a place of travel. It comes from a place of story. It comes from designing from my grandmother's doilies that she put on her dining room table when we were growing up, and using that as a mold for the encasing of the crystals that we're going to use on the serendipity necklace. Like that
Wow.
is where I get my stuff from. It comes from not even the outside, it all comes from the inside. And so there's a story about doggone near everything. You know, I designed one of our bestsellers, origami, and it looks like striations, like an origami striation, but I designed it in COVID because that's what COVID felt like to me. It felt like chaos. And I put little crystals in it because that was like the glimmer of hope. You know, so
Mm.
all the things have a story, and that's why they love to rock it, because they remember the story and how they
Mm.
feel. They wear it when they want to feel a certain way or a certain thing.
Yeah.
So,
It's so
yeah,
much deeper than saying, "Oh, I like this style earring and I'm going to make it." It's a totally different. It comes from within. it sounds
Yeah,
like.
like even
That's
in
the
our retail store, it's a psychological sell. Like we don't sell to people just shopping to go with something for like a brown dress. Like when you come into our physical store, we ask you not how can we help you, but how do you want to feel when you leave here today? That is what
ooh,
that is what we ask you. And it makes her step back and it's like, oh, this is different, right? And we're
yeah,
asking like there are aesthetic based questions like what is your favorite color? You know, what are you working on in your life right now? Oh, I'm starting a new brand. Or well, what are your brand colors? This scarf will be amazing when you go to networking events. You know, so it's how we can change her life, not how we can sell her something. And
yeah,
if you can change her life, you're recession proof.
yes. Very good point. And
Yeah.
then your product is not a commodity anymore.
No.
I could see styles changing, but these women will be with you for years because of how your pieces make them feel, how you make them feel. It's that's loyalty. Like that's how you build a loyal brand. And I just think you see so many brands and businesses just really messing things up, and not paying attention to their customers or, I mean, totally different industry, but I'm just going to throw out Southwest right now, which I've been fascinated with their story of their impending, I'm going to just call it their impending demise because Southwest is a very cult like brand. Like people love Southwest. They loved the customer service. They loved, the all the things that made Southwest Southwest, the 2 bags free and then the open seating and all this stuff. And I've been watching and reading all this stuff on it and how they had these activist investors come in. They just started looking only at the numbers. And this is where you just know it's just going to tank. And they started taking away all the things that the people loved and what made it, like the great people and the great experience. You take all that away, and all that's left is the price. And then they're just going to go where the seats are cheaper.
Yep.
And it's a great lesson. And I'm going to dive into it more maybe on a future show because they are dismantling every reason that you would have to fly with them over someone else. People may be surprised that I do actually like Southwest. I fly them for short flights. It's easy. You know what you're going to get. I never even compare to other airlines. I know it's a good deal, especially if I have the kids. I'm like, let's
Yep.
just book this. And I get the business select. So we board first and
Mhm.
it's all taken care of. And now they're taking all that away. I'm like, there's no reason for me to stay with them. Like I'll compare now to everything. And any business that doesn't see this coming is in for a real awakening. If you are not bonding with your people, if you are not really listening to your customers, if you are not creating something that they want to be a part of, there's going to be a huge split in these robotic type businesses that are all AI and data driven versus the human experience. And you're giving them a very much a human part of making this. Like when I'm talking to you, it makes me want to put on one of your necklaces. Like it just makes me want to be part of it because it's such a driving force in who you are and what you do. Um, Talking about like the humanity of it and people, you're very accomplished and you've won all these awards. The Inc. 5000, you're Ernst and Young Entrepreneur of the Year, many of the ones that I've been involved in too, which give you access to a lot of cool people and new
Yeah.
circles and new
Yeah.
opportunities. Um, Tell me why that you came to the trust this year, because it was really a pleasure to get to know you at the recent event. And as you were leaving, you said something to me that I wanted to follow up with on the show. And you
Yeah.
said something like, I wasn't sure what I expected, but I got what I needed.
Yep. Yep. So I've been listening to you for a very long time. Glambition. I had my husband listening to you, Allie, in the car. We were on our way to a Steve Harvey speaking engagement. My grandfather had just died and I had to get on the stage the next day. You kept me going. So you should know that.
Oh, wow.
And I had done a number of circuits, like a number of cohorts, and they were all amazing for that season. And something occurred to me that I had never, as woman centric as I am and my brand is, I had never had a woman coach ever. They were all men and they were all like the bro code and they were all marketing funnels and it was all the same thing. Or if it wasn't that, it was all about accomplishments and investment and it's just like
Mm.
who is Who are the people who are leading from spirit? Who are the people who are guided by gut? Where are the people that don't want to do it like everyone else is doing? This must exist somewhere. So
Mm.
it had always been in the back of my head. And I was following you on Instagram. I was like, let me just join. I think I had a discovery call. And I had the call and I was like, I'm gonna go for it. This is the time frame where, because I had been out of coaching for a minute. I'm like, I need some guardrails. I'm building my business differently now. I had let go of a number of things in my brand, a number of things. So I knew what I didn't want, but I had no idea of building what I did want. I just knew that I wanted it. So fast forward, I come to my first retreat in Arizona. First of all, just the thoughtfulness of how the program is structured. Women of a certain age do not want to be bam, bam, bam on an itinerary all day. We want to come in, we want to kiki, we want to learn, and then we want to go lay by the pool and then take a nap, and then I'll meet you tonight at dinner. Right? So just the thoughtfulness, the itinerary is what got me first. So I want you to know about your mindfulness and how it
I
connects.
love that. Thanks for
Okay.
mentioning the nap too, because I do it. I go up and
Like we got to call the kids. Like I can't be out here with a beer in my hand
yeah.
all day with a vest on. Like, you know what
Yes.
I'm saying? Like
Yes.
I lead a household. Let me go call my kids and I'll be back with you. And don't guilt me into feeling like I need to be out here all day, you know? So, so I thank you for that. Then here's what I meant. I thought that it was like a conference or like there was a program and I was going to be taking notes feverishly and I was going to leave with actionable items, which I did, by the way. It just did not come how I was used to it being delivered. Instead, it was the truest form of mastermind that I have ever been a part of. So it
Mm.
was where all of the members shared in real time, and we got to, and you hear mastermind, but this was different. Like, it's almost to the point where I cannot explain it, but just being able to poke holes through someone's new idea, new venture that they are thinking about putting forth, you know, and just all the receivership and the love and the energy. It was just different. And there are other masterminds and they're amazing, but I've never had one that's all female focused and one that I was so inspired by as well. You know, so the one that I was so inspired by. There are no brands that I know of like me in the trust. And I typically look for that because I
Mm.
think that that's like, oh yeah, if she's in it, I should be in it too because we're going to learn the same thing. We need to know the same things. But there was so much beauty in learning from women who don't even run businesses remotely close to mine. And I was able to take how they do business and apply a form of that to mine, which has been game changing for me. So that's what I meant.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I love that. And thank you, because every time I have a member share with me, what was the experience for them, I get new language to describe what we do because it's a bit challenging. It's not a traditional type of network group. It's not a traditional type of mastermind. It actually is the purest form of mastermind, but that term has been so, beat up by all these different groups and what they call it and what they do with it. And then there's this it's like a frequency that we're all just kind of tuned in with each other and helping each other, and it just happens. Stuff just percolates and happens, and people leave it in a different place. And so thank you for the language to help further, articulate this and what it is for these women. And we're thrilled to have you with us. As we're recording this, you guys will all hear this later, but we're going to have our mastermind next week where everyone's going to be presenting their 26 plans. And Charis, I think you're zooming in, right? Are you going to be zooming in? Okay, perfect. All right. We can't wait to hear everything you have planned. Before my last question, tell everyone where they can follow you, learn more, buy your great jewelry.
You can follow us online. Shopsassyjones.com is the site. Follow us anywhere at Shop Sassy Jones and follow myself, Charis N. Jones. Also, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is a lot of fun. That's sassyjonestv.com.
In the YouTube, I think you just posted a whole kind of post Egypt.
Yes, the vlog, the
Okay.
movie. Egypt.
All right. I
Yes,
can't wait to go see that.
it's fun. It's a lot
That's
of fun. A lot of
that's
tears,
awesome.
a lot of good stuff.
Had you been to Egypt before?
Never. That was my first time.
Did anything surprise you? I've never been.
Yes, tons. Egypt slowed me down. Egyptians don't have a concept of the same concept of time that we have. So in moments where I'm so used to being in control and like schedule, boom, 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 they do not give up. Okay, so you are forced to slow down and sort of like ride on their vibe, which was good for me in my mindset in this season. So that was the biggest thing that shocked me.
In the end, you felt it was good for you?
Ah,
Even when the bus wasn't there at 6 o'clock? Like, is that kind of what you were dealing with? Like
no, because the logistics were tight and
okay.
that was the best part about the trip. But just how slow they are and they value communication over like timeliness. So they want to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and talk and show you they're just very relational. And I love that about them. We're very transactional as
Mm,
humans.
yeah,
So I love that.
that's a good shift. All right. What is the reward in all of this for you, Charis? You know, I know there's probably more than one, just listening to you speak, but what is the reward in all the work that you've put into us, all the lessons you've learned, the hard moments? What is it?
Freedom. The reward is freedom. Egypt actually reminded me of this because while there were some challenges of like, okay, we should do this and or not do this, right? What became apparent to me and very clear is that Sharice, you love your freedom. You want to fly like a bird. I'd like to do the things that I like to do and the way that I love to do it. Creative freedom, time freedom, business freedom, lifestyle freedom. Um, just when I got back, got the boys out of school, we went to the science museum, just freedom. So my currency is being able to have space, regardless of what revenue looks like, regardless of what team count look like, regardless of what next launch there is. For me, it's space and freedom.
I love that. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being part of the trust. It's just an amazing thing having you with us. And I can't wait to see you again. And, we're going to check out some of your jewelry and just let us know anything we can do to support you. You're amazing.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for having me, Allie. It's been a pure pleasure.
I hope you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did. Subscribe now to the Reward Podcast to be sure to not miss an episode. And don't forget to visit jointhetrust.org to learn more about our modern community for forward-thinking 7- and 8-figure women entrepreneurs. You can learn more, apply to join us, or refer another woman you know who is over the $1 million mark and is ready for a different type of women's network. We have events coming up both live and online that are truly creating new possibilities for female leaders. That's jointhetrust.org. See you there.